Okay. Oh, okay. All right, and we're live. Let everybody in. I'm going to make you host. Shabbat Shalom and welcome one and all to Shabbat at Congregation Beth Shalom. I'm Rabbi Justin Kerber, and it's a pleasure to welcome you all virtually to Shabbat Re'eh. This evening, I'd like to extend a special thanks to the Block family, Kelly, Jeremy, Teixler, and Hunter, for lighting the Shabbat candles, which we'll do in just a moment. I'd like to thank Karen and Jerry Stern for leading us in some of our prayers this evening. I'd like to extend a thanks to Lonnie Garral for continuing to recruit people to take part in our services, to our digital director, my son Elon Kerber, who's right here, helping out with our live stream this evening, and of course to our wonderful song leader, Juliet Naring. So we're going to get started this evening on pages 2 and 3 of your Mishkan Tefillah prayer book, whether you have the book or you're using it on an iPad or whether you are using the PDF pages that we send out each week for you to print out. You will find the candle lighting on pages 2 and 3 of Mishkan Tefillah. And at this time, I'd like to invite the Block family to lead us in the lighting of the candles.
Nope, there we go.
All right, can you hear us? Go ahead. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech
ha'olam asher tishah
Lecha b'ner shel Shabbat. Hello? Uh-oh. Hello?
And we are here. Please continue on page 3. Are they frozen?
They have an ask to unmute on, which is really annoying.
Ask if
We're gonna,
Are you reading?
I'm sorry, we're having. There we go. Yes, please continue with the reading on page 3. Thank you so much. We're going to continue with Lecha Dodi on 20 and 21 of our prayer book with Julia.
Don't you want to be muted?
לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לה 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 לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמענו אל מיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, השם לתפארת בליתי לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת קלה, עיני פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, עיני פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכוון אלך, כי היא מקור הברכה, בראש מקדם נשוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת קלה, עיני פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, עיני פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, כי באור קומי אורי, אורי שירה ברי, כבוד אדוני עלי, לה 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 לה, חדותי, לקראת קלה, עיני פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, עיני פני שבת נקבלה. I invite you to rise and face the doorway in your home, entering, welcoming the Sabbath bride entering into your home, or if you will, or if you may, lift your spirits. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'batzola, תוכם עונם סגולה, בואי חלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, עיני פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, עיני פני שבת נקבלה, לה 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 לה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, עיני פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, עיני פני שבת נקבלה.
Julie, continue with Shabbat Service 2, which begins on page 145. We are going to begin with the Chatzi Kaddish, which separates our preliminary portions of our service from the beginning of the evening service itself. I invite you all to feel free to join with me in chanting the Chatzi Kaddish on page 145. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah ve'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imaru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olam me'almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithagar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha barichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran be'alman ve'imeru. Amen. At this time, we turn to page 146, and I invite you to rise to your feet or lift your spirits as we begin our service with the formal call to worship, the Baruch Hu, on page 146. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. I now invite you to join with Karen and Jerry Stern on pages 147 and 148 as they lead us in Ma'ariv Aravim and Ahavat Olam.
Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth.
In each age, we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment, we are addressed by the world. In each age, we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment, we stand face to face with truth. In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder. In each age, the children of Torah begin its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Give us a place to
Amen.
Oh, what are you going to do? Okay, sorry.
That was wonderful, Karen. It was wonderful, and I'm delighted you added the Hebrew Hatima at the end. We're going to continue now on page 149 with the Shema, with the declaration of God's unity. Please feel free to join with me. And please feel free, if you're used to it by now, to join with me in sign language so we can all hear one another, as it were. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Please feel free to join with me in chanting the Ve'ahavta, our Torah's commandment to love our God as much as we possibly can, which appears on page 150. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantaham levanecha v'dibartaham b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chetavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'yisharecha L'mahan tizkaruhu v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kadoshim le'lohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. We turn back to page 152, and we invite Juliet again to lead us in the Mi Chamocha.
Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi Chamocha Netar v'kodesh Nora tehilot Hosef Torah tehilot לפניך, בוקע ים, לפני משה ומרים, צליאנו ואמרו, צליאנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Juliet, that was marvelous. Thank you so much. We're going to turn to page 153, and I'd like to invite the Stearns to lead us again.
Give us a place to rest,
O
O God.
God. Shelter us from the long. Go on, you do it.
I can't see, you've got the light in here.
Okay, sorry. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours.
Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to have our members take part in our service, and if you would like to join us, please let Lonnie Grohl know. So at this time, I would once again invite everyone to either rise to your feet wherever you are, or lift your spirits and direct your hearts to the Holy One as we begin our Amidah, our Tefillah, the central prayer of our worship service this evening. It appears on pages 156 through 58 of our prayer book. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Ge'ula Livnei V'neihem L'man Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Abraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. 157. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai mechayeh hakol ata rav lehoshia mechalkel chayim b'chesed mechayeh hakol b'rachamim rabim somech noflim v'rofei cholim umatir asurim umekayehem emunato lishenei afar Michamocha ba'al givurot u'mido melech melech mimit u'mechayeh u'matzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atal hachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Page 158. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim v'chol yom yahalu chasela Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We invite you now to take a few moments of silent meditation for the prayers in your own hearts and minds, or the prayers in the book, or just for some space for some quiet reflection. We will come back together with a prayer for healing in a few moments. If you wish to mention someone for a prayer for healing, and you have permission to share their name publicly, please add their name using the chat tool. We are thinking of Rebecca Leonards, Thomas Tracy, Dennis Nichols, Don Siegel, Samantha Brown, Miles Brown, Nancy Felsher, Bennett Leshnover, Caleb Ben Sarah V'Avraham, Ray Riley, Rabbi Yudi Dukes, Harav Chaim Shneur Zalman, Yehuda Ben Hinda Yocheved, Morgan Wiley, Myra Gassman, Michelle Johnson, Robin Singer, Mark Solomon, Luke Siegel, Elaine Seidler, Debbie Allen, Steve Hughes, Amy Warner, Kathy Gervis, Marlene Goodfriend, Karen Prine, Jerry Landy, Amelia Schmidt, and people everywhere who are suffering and who are in need of healing. The Hebrew for our prayer of healing tonight, which is El Na Rafan Allah by Todd Herzog, is found, if you wish, on page 373.
Dear God of our ancestors, dear God of our ancestors, help us renew our faith. Help us renew our faith. Grant us a perfect healing. Grant us a perfect healing. Bring peace to all our days. Bring peace to all our days. Allah, Rafan Allah, Rafan Allah. Restore our strength of body, restore our strength of body. Help clarify our minds, help clarify our minds. Refresh our tired spirits, refresh our tired spirits. Help rejuvenate our mind, rejuvenate our mind. Allah, Rafana, Allah, Rafana, Allah, no.
Juliet, that was beautiful. Thank you very much. In the first season of one of the greatest TV shows of all time, The Muppet Show, a trio of feckless, felt folk musicians sing the blues. These Muppets lament, you cannot go to tomorrow and come home again today. Contradictions like that seem insurmountable. Of course, it's impossible to go tomorrow and come home again today, but it turns out that these Muppets were trying to buy a round-trip train ticket to a town called Morrow. So maybe you can go tomorrow and come home again today after all. Some contradictions can be resolved. Our weekly Torah portion, Parshat Re'eh, seems to have a glaring contradiction too. Deuteronomy chapter 15 discusses the Shemitah, the sabbatical year which the Torah commands every seventh year. Land is to lie fallow, debts to be forgiven. As it says in Deuteronomy chapter 15 verses 1 and 2, every seventh year you shall practice remission of debts. This shall be the nature of the remission. Every creditor shall remit the due that he claims from his fellow. He shall not dun his fellow or kin, for the remission proclaimed is of the Lord. Well, that seems simple enough. But then our Torah makes a soaring claim at Deuteronomy 15 verse 4 and proceeds to a contradictory idea. Ephes ki lo yihiyeh B'cha evyon ki yivarechecha Adonai ba'aretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha nachala l'rishtah. There shall be no needy among you, since the Lord your God will bless you in the land that the Lord your God is giving you as a hereditary portion. If only you heed the Lord your God and take care to keep all this instruction that I enjoin upon you this day. For the Lord your God will bless you as God has promised. You will extend loans to many nations, but require none yourself. Ki ihyevecha evyon me'achad achecha, ve'echad she'arecha ba'artzecha, asher Adonai Elohecha noten alach, lo ta'ametz et levavecha, ve'lo tikpotz et yadecha me'achecha ha'evyon. If, however, there is a needy person among you, if there is a needy person among you, one of your kin within any of your gates in the land that the Lord your God is giving you, do not harden your heart and shut your hand against your needy kin. Rather, you must open your hand and lend sufficiently for whatever the need. But I thought the Torah just said there weren't going to be any needy ones among us in the first place. Let's keep going through the end of this section. By the way, this next verse has a masterful translation of Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 9. This is Professor Richard Elliott Friedman, who I think got it exactly right. Hishamer lecha pen yihyeh davar im levavecha v'liya'al lemor. Watch yourself in case there might be something good for nothing in your heart, saying the 7th year, the remission year, is getting close, and your eye will be bad toward your brother who is indigent, and you won't give to him, and he'll call on Adonai because of you, and it will be a sin in you. Naton titein lo, v'lo yera levavecha, titchalo, ki biglal hadavar hazeh yivarechecha Adonai Elohecha v'chol ma'asecha v'chol mishlach yadecha. Give readily and have no regrets when you do so. For in return, the Lord your God will bless you in all your efforts and in all your undertakings. For there will never cease to be needy ones in your land, which is why I command you, open your hand to the poor in your land. Hilo echdalev yon mikerev aretz al kain anochi mitzavacha lemor patoach tiftach et yadecha la'achecha la'aniyecha ule'evyonecha ba'artsecha. So, in the space of just 11 verses, our Holy Torah proceeds from, there shall be no poor people among you, through, but if there are any poor people among you, and arrives at, there will always be poor people among you. How could all three of those things be true? You cannot go tomorrow and come home again today. Our friend Rashi, also known as Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki, who lived in medieval France, helps break it down with amazing simplicity by saying, when you do the will of the merciful one, there may be poor people among others, but not among you. But when you do not do the will of the merciful one, there will be poor people among you. After all, verse 4 does go on to limit its promise by stating it applies only if you will listen to the voice of Adonai and be watchful to do all God's commandments. The Torah doesn't promise us a perfect world. It offers us a roadmap to get closer to one. Prayer is not a laundry list. The Torah is not a shopping list. Both are statements of hopes, of aspirations, of what might just potentially be. If, and only if, we take seriously the laws of Shemitah, respecting our land and giving it a chance to replenish itself by lying fallow, and if we follow the commandments to share with the destitute seriously, we might just be able to live without poverty. And for all you skeptics out there, did you notice what Rashi did with just 2 words? According to his comment, doing God's will not end poverty in the entire world, just among us. That's still, I think, worth it. By the way, Professor Friedman notes that other medieval commentators would have resolved this contradiction by writing it off, saying, oh well, Israel will never listen to God's commandment, so there will always be poor people among us. But the Ramban, aka Nachmanides, Rabbi Moshe ben Nachman of medieval Spain, disagreed, saying it is unimaginable that the Torah would assume the Jewish people would never listen to God's commandments. In other words, if there's a commandment in the Torah, it must be possible. Difficult maybe, but not impossible. If we will only roll up our sleeves and work together to make it happen, then maybe we really could go tomorrow and come home again today. If we really did open our collective hearts and our collective hands, put aside our differences, our selfishness, and our suspicions, and our good-for-nothing, sneaky ideas about gaming the system, maybe we really would be able to live in a society without poverty. Yivarechecha Adonai Eloheinu b'chol ma'asecha uv'chol mishlach yadecha. May the Lord our God bless you in all your efforts and in all your undertakings. And as we continue on to Juliet's sermon response, I want to apologize that our Facebook live stream does not seem to be working tonight. We seem to have had a few internet and other technical issues this evening, I hope that we will be back to our usual standard soon. Juliet?
So in the practice of the cycle of 7 and Shemitah, we not only release ourselves of a duty or release the fields of their duty, we make room for something new. And practicing that and reflecting on that in my own life, I thought, I wonder what it would look like to examine every 7 years of my life. And of course, I found that there were significant shifts every 7 years, not because of some magical reason, but because I was being intentional about observing and accounting how the cycles of my life were going. And so when we allow ourselves to release and open the new door as one door closes, we make room for things to happen in our own lives and thereby helping others in their lives. And directly related to what Rabbi was saying about finding the time and the space to help others. How nice it'd be if we could try everything. I'm serious, let's make a list and just begin. What about danger? So what? What about risk? Let's climb this mountain before we cross that bridge. 'Cause I'm restless. I'm restless. I'm restless for whatever comes next. How wonderful to see a smile on your face. It costs farewell tears for a welcome home parade. A secret handshake between me and my one life. I'll find the silver lining no matter what the price. 'Cause I'm hungry. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm hungry for whatever comes next. Let me tell you another secret of the trade. It feels like sinking when I'm standing in one place. So I look to the future and I book another flight. When everything feels heavy, I've learned to travel light. But I want to be here, truly be here, to watch the ones that I love bloom. And I want to make room to love them through and through and through and through the slow and barren seasons too. I feel hope deep in my bones that tomorrow will be beautiful. And I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. restless and hungry. I'm ready for whatever comes next.
Juliet, thank you very much. And I'd like to welcome our immediate past president, Beth Landy, for our announcements.
Thanks, Rabbi Justin. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I want to welcome all of our congregants. I see a lot of new faces tonight, so thank you for joining us if it's your first time, and any guests. I just want to thank everybody who contributed to our service tonight. Of course, Rabbi Justin, Juliet, Jeremy, and Kelly Block for lighting the candles with their adorable children, Teixler and Hunter, and also Jerry and Karen Stern for their readings. That makes the service so special when we participate. So here we are, another virtual service, which is meaningful in its very own way, and I hope you've all enjoyed them and will continue to enjoy them, because for those that are congregants, you know that we'll be doing the high holidays on a virtual basis as well to keep everybody safe. If you're not currently a member, you can find all this information on our website, but just a couple updates on that. You should have received in the past week a whole packet of information about the high holidays, about dates and times, and they will be in a virtual view, a little bit different than this. It will not be a Zoom call, it'll be a Zoom webinar, which will be a little bit more high holiday focused. So we're looking forward to sharing that with all of you. In the meantime, in the information you got, there were some opportunities for you to support the congregation. One is to support sisterhood in a Rosh Hashanah greeting. Any congregant can share their well wishes to the congregation, and it will be zoomed across the screen, and it's just a minimum of a $10 contribution. And also our annual Book of Remembrance Fund that will be viewed during our Yisker service. You can contribute to that as well, so please pay attention to the dates on those. In anticipation of the holidays, and because everybody will not be together this year, Rabbi Justin and Juliet have been working very, very hard just to create a little encounters. A little is the month before our high holidays begin, and this was in our e-news this past week and will continue to be in. It's a group of seven sessions that will connect to a reflection. It will connect to interactive discussion, psalms, and ancient and contemporary music and poetry. The first session, or the first reflection evening, is going to be August 20th, and then August 22nd, they'll continue until the middle of September. So you can go to all or one or just parts of them, but Juliet and Justin will be sharing their thoughts and interacting with all of you, and we think that's going to be a really wonderful way to connect as we begin preparing for the high holidays. You should have also received in the past week or two renewal information or new information about joining our Brotherhood and Sisterhood. And whether you're a member of our congregation or not, we'd love for you all to be members of Brotherhood and Sisterhood. So if you are interested and not currently a member of the congregation, feel free to contact myself or Judy Weitzman or anybody on the board, or Isabel Atlas or Jack Cohn, who are our Brotherhood and Sisterhood presidents, and you can join them as well. So you should have received that in the mail. As we've always said, CBS continues, especially during these difficult times, to support Popsy's Pantry and to also support the Newcomer School. If you'd like to drop off donations to either one of those, you can contact Isabel Atlas. There's some important programs coming up that the JCRC in Indianapolis is sponsoring. We encourage you to check their website. The first one is this Monday, August 17th, and the title is Combating Anti-Semitism While Pursuing Racial Justice and Equality. It is going to be a panel discussion and very interactive, and we encourage all of you to check that out, and you can just go to their website. The other one is August 24th, Countering Active Threat Training. And it says you have 3 to 5 minutes to survive. How are you prepared? So very, very pertinent and important information, and I know that the JCRC always does an amazing job. As I said, thank you to everybody who participated in the services tonight. We look forward to seeing you in the next few weeks. And then as we prepare for the holidays, we look forward to seeing many of you at the holidays. If any of you have any questions or concerns about the holidays and connecting through us, again, please contact any of us on the board, Rabbi Justin or Juliet, of course. And on behalf of the CBS Board of Directors, I wish all of you a very wonderful Shabbat, good health, and a restful week. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to you too, Beth. Thank you so much. And I want to thank all of you. So many of you have stuck with us for months and months and months now of weeks and weeks of online services. And I know it's disappointing that we have to continue to do this for the time being. So I really want to thank you for continuing to support us, continuing to show up on Friday nights, and being a part of our community. I also wanted to say that I will be attending that JCRC Federation community briefing on confronting anti-Semitism while pursuing racial justice and equality. I can't think of a more pertinent topic. It'll be at 7 p.m. on Monday, August 17th. All you got to do is go to bit.ly/JCRC briefing. I hope I'll see you there. We're going to begin to conclude our service now at this time on page 282 with the Aleinu. And once again, we invite you either to rise to your feet or lift your spirits as Juliet leads us.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. This week, the Beth Shalom community fondly remembers Helvin January, father of Larry January, Hy Dubinsky, uncle of Karen Stern, Mark Gordon, the father of Melissa Bastian, Rose Foster, the mother-in-law of Sylvia Foster, Doris Halpern, the grandmother of Rabbi Stanley Halpern, and Donald Goldberg, the father of Hope Kerber, my father-in-law and beloved Papa to Eli and Danny. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. The Mourner's Kaddish appears on page 294, and I invite you all to join with me. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah ve'alma divrach chirutei v'amlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael v'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ula'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal shemei dekudsha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May the Holy One, who creates harmony on high, bring peace to us to all Israel, and to all who dwell on earth, to which we say, Amen.
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל.
Please join me in the Shabbat Kiddush on page 5. I don't think you have it, but I think most of you know it by heart. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. And with the usual thanks to Hope for baking us our challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Holy One bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May the Holy One cause your faces to shine with joyful radiance and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Holy One lift your spirits and establish peace for you. Now and for all time, as together we say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. This concludes our service this evening. Eli's now going to unmute everyone so that we can greet one another as face-to-face as possible in a situation like this.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. My friends.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Almost.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Myra.
Have a good weekend.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Ooh. Who's Kate?
She used to teach at Academy, now she teaches.
What wing?
The regular wing.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Hi, Jane.
Shabbat shalom.
I was glad to
Shabbat
see that
Shalom, Black.
I was glad to see that Wonder Woman could join us this evening.
So she took a break from saving the world.
They have a Wonder Woman blizzard at Dairy Queen these days. It's the best.
You know what, Hunter? I have seen Wonder Woman socks at CBS, so you might have somebody check that out for you.
Thank you so much for letting us know. Do they have Batman socks too?
I don't know.
Probably do.
They usually roll together.
Sorry, Rabbi.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello. How was your vacation?
It was wonderful. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's
The
good.
best part was getting to see the Indiana Dunes. I'd never been there before. It was really fun.
It's pretty amazing.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Hello to everyone.
Shabbat shalom. You want to end?
Yeah, let's. All right, we're taking off, everybody.
Good
All
night.
right, bye-bye. Have a great
All
weekend.
right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Sorry for technical issues at the beginning.
Oh, did you guys hear us sing?
Did you hear us?
Did you hear us with the prayer?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Wait, okay. Should I? Let's-
And you did my favorite melody.
Fantastic.
Oh.
I aim to please.
I love that one.
Yes. Yes.
Jeremy and I actually, right beforehand, we had a debate over the melody. And I was like, no, it goes like this. And he goes, no, it's like this. And then he was singing louder, so he won.
There are a lot of different ones, but I do love that one.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. I like that one as well.
I think I'm going to get off of here. I got a baseball game to find.
Of course.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Good luck finding it.
Good night.
Bye now. Go Cubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
All right, Rabbi, I'll see ya.
it me? Or were there a lot of technical glitches tonight, aside from my speaking without unmuting myself?
Well, I think the
I get it.
internet connection, I think, was, and then also I noticed that Eli's connection kept loading.
Mhm.
So now one thing that I do before I have
Mhm.
services is like I told you, I reboot my router, and that has helped me a lot.
Well, maybe it's time for us to do that. Maybe it's time for us to do that because I feel like it's not just this. We've had a lot of glitches lately.
And
I
you've
feel like
been
it's time
using
to get
it.
a fiber optic network.
You've been using it a lot for school and work, and so it's time to.
Mhm.
Every once in a while it just needs to get rebooted so it can kind of clear the cache.
Okay.
And I found that really helps a lot. About an hour before
Okay, well, I'll do that. But
I unplug it and reboot it. Alrighty.
maybe I'll do that like when I start getting things going at 5:30. You get going. Shabbat Shalom. Always a pleasure working with you. And
For
take care.
sure, and I'm sure we'll be talking.
Yes, I'm sure we will. And I'll see you on Sunday too.
All right, I have lots of things.
If not before.
So.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right.
Bye.
Talk soon. Bye.